Lindsey Partridge, and I'd like to teach you a little bit about ground tying. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I do to help set ground tying up for success. So one of the things when we're teaching ground tying to our horses is we need to make sure they're already in a calm state of mind. If they're really anxious, moving their feet, and they're really energetic, then it's probably not the best time to teach ground tying. And probably better to do some things to get them into a state of mind more like this, where yes, she's sort of thinking about me, she's wanting to sort of play with me or do something, but she's not feeling the need to move her feet a lot, and she's certainly not scared of her surroundings and looking all around her thinking what the heck is going on. So I've got a horse that's thinking about me and that isn't feeling the need to move her feet a lot. So now I can start to work on some ground tying things. So one of the things when we're working on ground tying, it's good to start by holding our rope and making sure we have the horse, and just practicing standing in different parts of their body, because a lot of people lead their horses at the shoulder, or they do a lot of things at the front of the horse, but rarely do people do anything further back on the horse except for maybe saddling them or if they're going to do their feet. But we spend very little time back here. For example, how often do you see somebody just chilling out here while they're talking to their friends and hanging out at a horse show? You don't typically see that, so the horses maybe aren't comfortable having people in different spaces around their body. So I want you to think of it this way, that just because you can stand on the left side of your horse's body up by their head doesn't mean that you can stand at their head. So if your horse moves like that, I want you to just simply correct your horse, not make them in trouble, because we don't want to create anxiety over you standing in a different spot. And once you've made the correction, you can work your way back again. So if she had anxiety before I got to this point, then I would want to stay there and not progress. So basically, if I notice anxiety happening, if she gets tense, if she looks like she's going to move her feet, then I would just stay there and then retreat and reward before she had a chance to get too upset. So I don't want to push her past her limit. I just want to take her to her limits and then progress from there. So I keep working on, can you stand still while I come back here? And she looks like she's okay with that. So then I want to make sure I do the other side as well. So when I switch sides, I'm just going to sort of block and say stay straight and then rub her as I'm working around her. Because if I just step away from her, then usually that draws a horse towards us and causes them to move. They're more likely to stand still if you sort of block them from coming in our space, like that, and then rub them as we go down. So again, I'll slowly work my way back to the back, and if I notice any issues, any anxiety coming up, then I wouldn't progress any further. Just kind of like how I'm starting with the rope attached and just going here. I'm not starting with just dropping the rope and running away. I want to take things slowly and keep it set up for success, keep it really positive. So once I can do both sides confidently, then I can try dropping the rope and switching sides and coming back up and collecting my rope. Good girl. And I want her to feel really smart about that. So when they're in the beginning stages, it's still a good idea to hold your rope as you come back to this point. Make sure they're relaxed, and then drop the rope and switch. So that way, if they were to move, you have your rope. You can also do it where you drop your rope at the front of your horse and move around them, which is okay as well. Now, when I'm working my horses, I set it up for success in that I don't feel the need to always collect up the tail of my rope. So for example, if I'm doing move the shoulders, I let the tail drag like that. Or if I'm doing move the haunches, sometimes I'll let the tail drag like that. So she's already used to having the rope around her feet. So you want to be aware that you've trained your horse to accept the rope. If you're going to do the example of coming back here and dropping your rope, you want to make sure they're already comfortable having the rope there. Because if she were to step forward and have the rope there, she might have a little bit of a panic attack if I hadn't already built the confidence with that. Good girl. Stay. then we progress to being further away from the horse. So when we're teaching to ground tie, a couple things to think about. One is that we want to set our horse up for success. So we want to start with the simple things. And usually if we're rubbing our horse, they're more likely to understand that we're standing still. So one of the things that you can do when you're first teaching ground tying is to rub your horse as you go to walk around your horse, rather than just simply walking around them. Then you start to progress. So you can start to do things like walk around your horse without touching your horse and go back to them and reassure them that yes, they were supposed to stand still. Then progress even further. Whoa. And if they ever do something like that, just say thanks for going to follow me, but actually you were supposed to stand right there. So I'll try again. Stay. And start trotting away from your horse. And you want to recognize that as you step away from your horse, you often have this draw effect on your horse for them to want to follow you. So what we want to do is sort of block and sort of say, stay there. So that way I don't accidentally draw him into me. And then once they're okay with that, we can progress to doing things where we might have to have movement. So let's say jumping jacks, or maybe clapping, or it could be smacking wood against a barrel, something like that. But I want to start in front of my horse where they can see me, because that's where they're going to be most confident. So I would do that type of thing here. And then same idea, progress around my horse. So can I go here? And if that's okay, then can I go here? And work my way around my horse, making sure that they're okay each step of the way. So, or if I was starting on this side, same idea. If I'm going to do something differently, let's say clapping, making a noise. Start in front of my horse, reward him for being a good boy, and then see if I can take it back a bit further, reward him, start there, progress, and you get the idea. So just because one is movement doesn't mean that I could come back here and start clapping, because they're two separate things. You've got to get your horse confident with noises as well as movement, going all the way around your horse. And recognize that if you were to come back here and do something way back where he can't really see me, and make noise and have movement, so this has the noise of the banging plus the movement of the wood. Or for example, if I'm going to throw it, understand that when you do that from behind the horse, it's scarier to the horse than if you do it in front of them. So start with things in front of your horse, and then work your way behind them, so that way they can keep their confidence up and keep it set up for success.